Okay, so in the last video I was talking a little bit about peat moss versus coco coir. So coco coir is basically a peat-free medium, which is important to know because, you know, using peat is actually ecologically unsound for the most part. I mean, it's just kind of like petroleum. You know, petroleum is a non-renewable resource versus coco coir. You know, it is a renewable resource. It's made from coconuts. You know, coconuts grow plentiful. You know, you can keep growing them over and over, and people eat lots of coconuts. Whereas peat comes from bogs in Ireland, which, Ireland, Scotland, I think, Canada. There's places in the world that has peat, but, you know, the peat comes from bryophytes. You know, they're like a kind of ferny type of plants that grew. They used to grow really big. They made large masses of organic matter, and, you know, they grew, they died, they grew, they died. You know, making lots of compost, essentially, naturally occurring compost. But over a long period of time. So, if we were to try to make peat naturally now, it would be fairly impossible because we just can't grow. You can't grow the bryophytes in the same kind of frequency, I guess I want to say, as, let's say, growing coconuts. Coconuts grow plentifully. You know, and especially right now, coconuts are very popular, you know. I don't know if they're growing any more coconuts than they used to grow before, but, you know, coconuts can be grown, and it's a renewable resource, whereas the peat is not. You know, it's like gasoline. Petroleum, you know. Petroleum is a non-renewable resource. When it's finished, it's done, it's over, there's going to be no more. No more driving cars with petroleum, no more airplanes flying in the sky with petroleum. We're going to have to find a new way to power our vehicles and stuff like that. In the same way, you know, we can't just keep using peat. It's going to run out eventually. And it's also destroying the wetlands, which, you know, they support rare and fragile species, you know, different kinds of frogs and birds and insects and all kinds of cool things, dragonflies, you know. So if we continue to use up the peat, it's kind of destroying a natural resource, you know, in the peat itself, and also the habitat of different species that populate the peat bog. So use peat-free coco coir, or, you know, different kinds of seed starting media, potting soil made from like coco coir, or what's the other thing? Sometimes they use like wood mulch, disintegrated wood mulch. So there you have it. That's what I have to say about that. Okay, so I kind of set up some of my stuff that I want to do for my winter sowing here. So I decided that I want to plant a bunch of flower seeds. I have some snapdragons. These are seeds that I got from the Ukraine. I'm not sure if they were the best quality. I don't remember if they did very well last year, but anyway, I bought these last year. So I'm going to plant stuff that's like not necessarily the freshest. A lot of them are just plain old. And so, like this stuff here, I don't remember how long ago I've had this. I can't remember. 2010, 2009. So about 10 years I've had those seeds. These seeds are even older than that. Much, much older, maybe even 20 years. I don't know. So I'm going to plant a bunch of stuff that either I don't care about or it's straight, Lavaterra. Yeah, it's something that probably would enjoy a little bit of a chill. Like this here, where is that thing? Darn it. I have some seeds. Here we go. This Caucasian mountain spinach that I got from Fedco Seeds. This is supposed to be like a vining type of spinach, which I guess originates in Scandinavia somewhere, or Norway, I seem to recall. But anyway, this likes it cool. It likes it really cool. As a matter of fact, as soon as the weather starts to get warm, it's going to start to decline. So I'm going to give it as much of a head start as possible. But some of the other things that you can grow, winter sown, is, like I said, lots of different flowers you can grow, different herbs, lovage, flowers. I have some coreopsis. This is hardy annual, so definitely things that are hardy, annual, perennial, cool season crops like this kitchen sink mix. There's a lot of cool season crops in there. You can do lettuce, you can do, well, this is mosh or corn salad. You can do kale, you can do beets. You can do carrots, you can do tomatoes, you can even do, I'm not going to say corn, but I think you can do corn. I've seen people grow beans, definitely peas. I've had a very great success growing peas by winter sowing. You know, that year I actually used a milk jug. I had, milk jugs, juice bottles. I cut the bottle in half, you know, leaving a little notch so that you can flip the top. I'll probably show you that another time. You know, flip the top, you know, you put the soil mix in there, you put the seeds in there, and then of course there's no top. You don't have the top on it, so any kind of rain or whatever can go through the top, and you know, to keep the soil moist. And also it's receiving like a kind of a greenhouse situation, so that the sun that's shining in is keeping the soil moist. I mean, it's keeping the soil warm, but not so warm that it's burning. Because it's winter, it's okay that they're in the little bottle, confined and getting the heat from the sun. And in that way also, by the time the morning comes, you know, overnight, and by the time morning comes, the soil never really gets a chance to really freeze. So it's always going to be cool, but never really frozen. And so in that way, something like peas, like that year when I grew the peas, you know, they have a chance to grow, and they get a really good head start. And you know, you have the opportunity to let them grow in there and get good and strong. You know, they're getting good sun, so they're never getting like leggy and you know, that thing that happens when you grow them indoors. They get all leggy and weak. It's nice and strong, good sunlight, so you know, you get good green, dark green leaves, and then after, you know, they get to a certain point where they seem to be getting too big for the container, then you can prick them out. And, you know, most people wouldn't necessarily say that transplanting peas is the best. For many years I kind of thought that was the case, but I did that year, and they did just fine. They did great, as a matter of fact. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and plant some of these seeds, but I'm really not going to be doing too much of it on camera because, as you can see, I don't really have everything set up. Anyway, I just want to talk to you again about the plant markers. So yeah, so as you can see here, I wrote in pencil on the plant marker that I cut out some of these louvers and make them, to the size I need. You write in pencil, and when you write in pencil, it never fades, it doesn't wash off. 20 years from now, probably, you'll dig one of these out of the ground and you'll find it and it'll still say Stevia 128, and you'll be able to read it perfectly. And so I guess the other thing I wanted to say is that when it comes to these broken micro blinds, you can use this stuff. All of it is almost usable. I'm going to cut off this string, and use it to tie my plants. This business here, these ends here, you can use that to stake something up, as well as this part. Even this part here, when you remove the louvers, you can use that to tie plants. And of course, there's a little thingy that you use to kind of like turn the louvers up and down, open and shut. This makes a great little stake. So I like to use these for my peppers. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start planting some of these. With one hand. So let's see the trick. I'm wasting seeds here. Okay, so we have red snapdragons. And also the good thing about winter sowing is that, you don't have to really be that uptight about space, how many seeds per, square inch or whatever. I mean, it's not that imperative that you give them as much space as possible. Especially, like I said, some of these seeds are just so old. I don't even know if the germination rate is going to be very successful, so it almost doesn't matter. Let's see, what else do I have here? Sweet sultan. So, as you can see, I used the little louvers as sort of a way to compartmentalize the seeds also. You can make them to fit, so it fits so that it kind of stays in place. And that way when the seeds come, you know exactly what's where, which is which. And so I'm going to keep doing this. And I'm also going to, after I finish planting, I'm probably going to cover some of these. You don't want to cover them too much when it comes to flowers either, because they need their light. Yeah, some of these things like these California poppies, they'd like to be overwintered, so I'm going to plant those for sure over winter. Summer savory. It's summer savory, but it is a hardy herb. Alright, I think that's it for now. You get the idea. I'm going to be doing a whole lot more of these as time progresses. This is a seed tape thing, so it's probably not the best for winter sowing, but I will be doing this. I'm going to try and use this up this spring because these are old seeds and I don't want them to go, to go bad on me. But anyway, I think that's it for now. Like I said, thanks for watching.